Just yesterday, Lightroom released a new update with some new features in it. In this video, I'm going to go over those new features and tell you what I think. What's up guys, Jay Udofsky, Focus Photography and Design, helping you focus on your photography. If you like Photoshop, Lightroom, and photography, consider subscribing to my channel. I try to release a new video every week, so let's jump over to Lightroom and check it out. Here we are in Lightroom Classic, and I just wanted to go over a few new features that were added in April 2018 in the update that they put out. So this is version 7.3 on Lightroom Classic. I am a Creative Cloud subscriber, so I automatically get the updates as they release them. So let's get into it here. So the first one I want to go over here is the tone curve. So Adobe said that they had made the tone curve bigger, which means it would be a little bit easier to edit. You know, instead of being such a small window, you can even drag this out here a little bit more. Small window, it's a little bit bigger to help you make adjustments as you want. You know, a little S-curve there kind of helps out a little bit, and I guess it could just make it easier to drag points around if you have a little more space. So that's one update. Another update is they moved the Dehaze slider from the effects panel down towards the bottom of your adjustment panels here up to the top. And now it's under the presence, right underneath clarity. It's similar to clarity. It does a similar type of contrast that it adds. So for example, there's clarity. You can see if we just boost that up just to see what it looks like. And then the dehaze, we boost that up. It's adding contrast in a different way than the clarity would. So it's nice. It's convenient to have it up here and not have to go all the way down to the effects panel. So the other big update is the profiles and the way they use profiles. So I don't know if you've ever used profiles before. They used to be down in the calibration tab down here where you'd have your profiles listed here. And for me, I always change the profile to be the camera profile or camera standard, or I would use camera landscape, whichever camera style or camera profile I thought looked the best. So I use a camera, a 5D Mark IV, and I thought that the Canon profiles were better than the Adobe profiles that were in there. Now they've moved your profiles up to the basic panel. So now profiles work more like presets, although when you select a profile, it doesn't change any of your sliders that you have on the basic panel or any of the other panels. It just applies a color profile to your image. So just to show you real quick here, right now I have it set on camera standard. So I'm going to click this little button here, which will open it up, and we'll see they have different categories of profiles. So you can do Adobe Raw Profiles, and when you hover over the profile, you can see on your image it'll actually change it, but it doesn't apply it until you physically click one of the profiles that you want to use. So here's the Adobe standard ones. Not too bad. Then your camera ones, standard profiles that would come with your camera. So in this case, for me, it's Canon profiles. And there's some legacy ones there. Then they've gone into adding some artistic, black and whites, modern, vintage, different profiles that are built right into Lightroom here. So you can see if I hover over some of these modern ones, you can see the image change. That's kind of cool. So I'm just going to pick one here. Just go with this first one, just say modern one. Okay, so I click on it. Now that I've clicked on it, it also gives me this amount slider up here, which is nice. So if I like the effect, but I feel like it's too much, I can slide it back. It's almost like an opacity slider for the profile. So with presets in Lightroom, you never had the option of reducing the opacity or reducing the amount of the effect that was applied through your preset. But here with profiles, you can reduce your amount, which is kind of cool. I like that because sometimes a preset or in this case a profile might feel a little heavy, you know, too much for the image. So you can dial that back if you want. One thing I did notice that I was a little confused by is that when you're in the Adobe Raw, the color match or camera matching or legacy profiles, if I select one of those, you notice I don't get that slider to adjust the amount of the profile. So I was confused by that at first because I was only trying the Adobe Raw and camera matching profiles. And I'm wondering what happened to the amount slider here. Where is that? How come I don't see it? And it wasn't until I had gone down and tried some of the creative modes down here that amount slider appeared for me. So you can see black and white, and I can just drop the amount if I think it's too heavy-handed, so to speak, with the particular profile. So you can pick your profile and reduce the amount as you feel necessary. You can also boost up the amount, which may work, it may not. Probably depends on your image and the profile here. So I think the profiles are really cool because once you select your profile and you come back your basic panel here, everything is zeroed out if that's where you started. You know, I can go ahead and adjust my white balance, you know, boost up my contrast, highlights, you know, bring up the shadows a little bit, the whites, the blacks, clarity, you know, and make my adjustments using the profile that I've got. And as I go through, only things that I changed, now the tone curve here has changed because I had changed that just before I had changed the profile, but then everything else is still zeroed out. You can go through it and make the changes that you want. Now I know that you're able to also get different LUTs and color tables and the lookup tables from Photoshop, and you're gonna be able to use those here in Lightroom, and maybe I'll make another video about that on how to get the color lookup tables and the LUTs from Photoshop over into Lightroom. I'll make a video about that another time. But I think it's pretty cool because you're going to be able to apply a lot of different effects and kind of set the tone of the image without adjusting all the other sliders first. And that pretty much sums up the major new features here in Lightroom Classic. Thank you for stopping by my channel and checking out this video. I hope I helped you learn what the new features are in Lightroom Classic as of April 2018. If you like Photoshop, Lightroom, and photography, consider subscribing to my channel. I try to release a new video every week. I'll catch you in the next video. Subscribe over here, subscribe over there, or over there to pick a new video to watch, or up here you can pick a new video too. Please subscribe.